You're only a what if away from great holidays. What if? It's Aussie for travel.
Staff, Abby and Matt.
Brisbane wakes up with Staff, Abby and Matt on B105.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Thank you for downloading today's podcast. Really appreciate it. There's a bit going on in today's podcast.
There is.
Like when you hurt your child
Yeah.
by accident.
By accident.
There's a hog tie story in there.
Jesus.
Give you that much.
You don't hear that phrase very often, do you?
No.
Hogtied.
No, just a friendly little hog tie.
Yeah, between friends.
Do you reckon that's happened in, like, not kids, but in the bedroom?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's that classic scene in a movie, isn't it? When the guy gets tied up and he's like, oh, here we go. And then she robs him
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yep.
Classic fun.
Classic. But you know what? Every man could have seen that and known that that's a possibility, but he'd still run the risk.
That is true. Happened to George Costanza.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Plus, we talk about fertility vampires. It's all going on. Let's get into it. Here is today's podcast. Last night, we were live for our happy hour from the Gabba.
Yes.
Which was a lot of fun. It was good to
win
get
for
out
the
there.
boys, yeah.
Yep.
The kids were up later than what we could imagine for Auskick.
Yes, I know, right? All right.
They were never going to sleep how excited they were.
And then on the way home, my neighbour texted me because I saw him on our camera out the front of the house. And what had happened is they needed a lift to the hospital because they had the unfortunate thing where you've had 3 beers.
Yeah.
So, like, you feel fine,
Yeah.
but do you want to risk driving? And what had happened was their daughter had gone to jump onto the lap. And you know what you do as a dad or a mum? You think, oh, I'm going to save them here, so I'm going to grab them, help them out. But I think what had happened is as he went to grab her, he grabbed her leg, and she sort of swung around, the little 3-year-old, donkey donk, top of the head, hits the edge of the coffee table, I think it was.
Oh, coffee table always it, isn't it?
And that's happened with Xander when he was about the same age. Side of his head hit the coffee table when he was wrestling with his brother.
Yep.
And head, the same thing happened to Xander.
They bleed.
They're so splitty, aren't they, the heads?
Yep.
So splitty. But I guess it's one of those things you don't really know in those instances, like, was it your fault or did you actually help it not be worse? You know, and then you're stressed about
I always
it.
just go, oh, who was in charge?
Yeah.
Well, the good thing is they were both home, mum and dad.
Oh, okay, great, okay.
I think the same thing too.
Do you reckon that's why the ambulance would be called so much? It's like, oh, you probably can't drive.
Maybe.
Because that is always
Yeah.
the big, like, oh.
Yeah. Well, I guess you kind of, you know, you go, like, you're fine, but then...
Well, you don't want to risk it.
No, that's
No,
exactly
that's why
right.
when my son did his broken nose, I waited until the next day.
Yeah. So, so hang on, what happened?
Well, when he broke his nose,
Yeah,
I looked at it, I was like, it's probably broken. It will still be broken tomorrow.
true.
Yeah.
You're
And
like-
I propped him up as well.
Yeah.
But I have like a bit more experience where I was like, you know, it didn't bleed that much that I knew it was going to clot. So I put it up and...
Oh, look, we've all been there.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I have zero
So is she
judgment
okay?
on that for
How
anyone.
many stitches?
It was
Dunno.
the stitches.
Didn't get home till 2 a.m. I'll just text now.
That's because the concussion. You got to stay in hospital and be observed for a while.
Yes.
They come back every few.
Yeah.
So,
Jace did that. Remember, Jace, when you were trying to stop? Was it Sonny hitting his head and then he cracked his tooth?
Yeah, he was leaning down and I thought, he's going to stand up and bang his head on this little pole. So I put my hand in front of the pole and he bounced off my hand and then fell forward and cracked his tooth open.
Yeah.
I think you're doing the right thing.
But he would have hit the pole, though, right? The table.
Yeah, but I think that would have been better than the front teeth being
true.
chipped.
Tipped up, yeah.
Yeah, it's just spur of the moment, though. You know, it's reflexes.
yeah.
It's grabbing.
But also, too, I think the other hard thing is, and dads are the worst for it, for you'll be right, she'll be right, be fun, you'll be fine. And then, you know, it's your fault that they got hurt. You know, you're like, you sure I'll dink you on the handlebars? You'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
Oh, so much.
Just lean back a little.
Climb that tree.
Yeah.
All the way to the weak branches.
Engage
You can do
core.
it. Yeah.
Do you remember when I had to buy another pram for our third child?
No.
And Scotty goes, oh, see, I didn't know we were having a third. And I was like, what does that mean? And he did a ramp in the backyard where he strapped the kids to the pram. And they were doing obstacle courses on the pram, so the pram broke. But at one point, he like pushed them and they were still strapped to the pram.
Yeah, you need a third.
That reminds me, speaking of prams, when Ethan was littler, he loved to nap. So we actually had him in a stroller as long as we could. I think we used to push him around sometimes when he was 5. People used to look at us like, what is going on? We're like, kid will nap. But one time when he was a little bit younger, we were coming out of a shop and it was you know how like gutters drop at a right angle?
Yeah.
Esther thought we'd clipped him in.
Oh, no.
Oh.
And he's like, all limp there or whatever. And we come down, like pop down off the gutter. And he's just come straight out, asleep, dead weight. Meow. Hit the ground.
Yeah.
It's always the yelling, isn't it? I thought you strapped him in. No, I thought.
Onto
That was
the road?
conversation. Well, it was a car park.
Oh,
so
okay.
it was like,
Right.
yes. So
But
yes,
yes.
it was road.
Yeah.
But, you feel awful.
Yeah.
So what we're doing here is a bit of group therapy, guys. Did you injure your child?
They're okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but you accidentally injured them.
Yeah. Take responsibility for it and we'll absolve you of your sin. 13 10 60. Did you accidentally hurt your kid? We'll take your calls next.
Stab Abby and Matt for breakfast. B105.
Have you hurt your kid by accident? A bit of a group therapy session. My next door neighbour, Lukey, was trying to save his daughter from hitting her head, and I think he grabbed her foot, which made her swing around, smack her head onto the coffee table.
I was trying to save her.
Yeah, and bit of a gash in there. And foreheads,
Yeah.
they split.
They crack open.
They're splitty, aren't they? So 13 10 60. What happened to you?
Rebecca and Mount Cravat, how did you injure your kid by accident?
Oh my God! Hello, guys. Good
Hey.
morning. I love you guys. I want to say that.
We love you too.
Yes, I've got 5 kids. He's my youngest. He was only like a year and a half ago, so he was a little bit little. He's only 3 now.
Okay.
And I was cutting his fingernails, and I cut the top of his skin off, like pretty bad. Pretty bad. So now I don't do it again. I will not do it again. I tell my partner, no, I'm not doing that again.
No, I've done that before
that
as
was
well.
pretty
And they're
scary.
just screaming, like, what did you do that for? And you're like, because I'm trying not to get you to scratch yourself. It was trying to be a good
Yes.
thing.
Yes, so yeah, no, it was pretty scary, and it was pretty sore for quite a while. It was that bad. So, oh
And
my God.
The
Some
look of
manicures for
accusation
future. Yes.
in their eyes when you do it. It's like,
Yes,
like when you
how
step on a
dare
dog's
you
tail.
of all people
Yeah,
hurt
yeah.
me like that.
Yes,
so,
Rebecca.
yeah.
Yes.
And baby
Yeah, no.
fingernails grow at a rate of knots, don't they? They're just like,
Yeah.
you clip them and the next day, boom.
Yes, so yeah. I, even though that happens, I'm not doing it again.
No, you know what, Beck? I got a cheap electrical file after that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. I never thought of that.
Yeah,
okay.
there's like a tiny little one. It's like a soft one.
Right.
Because their
So it's-
fingernails are so tiny. And I got like a cheap one off eBay because I did exactly that.
There you go. All right. Tash and Marsden, how did you accidentally injure your child?
Well, I guess mine wasn't as bad as Rebecca's. I didn't try to Edward Scissorhands my child. Mine was about 10 months old, and I had half unclipped him out of his high chair and then turned around to grab something, and he decided to kamikaze himself out onto the child and ended up with a black eye.
Oh, black eye. Reminder. Permanent for
Yes.
a few weeks.
It is when you're getting judged by everyone looking like I beat my child.
Yeah.
I know.
My friend
That's not
accidentally...
to say it wasn't deserved, but...
No. Oh, we listen and we don't judge. Yes. My friend accidentally dropped a phone, and they're heavy, mobile
are,
phone,
Yeah.
on her son's head, and she felt so bad because she didn't know how bad it was. So she laid down and dropped it on hers to see. So she came in, she had a big thing. And we're like, what'd you do? She's like, I dropped it, but it was deliberate because I wanted to see if it hurt my son. We're like, well, you knew it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. What? Did he cry?
Yeah.
It hurt. What question was there? Hey, Hales.
Hiya.
Hey,
Good morning.
Morning. What's your story?
So, first time mum. My daughter was 8 months old and she was chewing on one of her cardboard books. And like a dog or something they shouldn't have, she ripped a piece of cardboard off the corner. I stuck my finger in to try and get it out. At the same time I did that, she leant forward and I ended up stabbing her with my fingernail in the back of her mouth.
Oh.
Tears started. I didn't realise how bad it was until I looked and she was actually bleeding.
Wow.
So Wilsworth's mum right here.
You need to get Rebecca to cut your nails for you.
I know, right? I was going to say I better give her a call. She can help me out.
Oh.
And well, I mean, you can't really do anything to cure, like fix that, can you? You just got to deal.
Yeah, I mean, look, she was tough. She was over it in 5 seconds. Me, on the other hand, bawling my eyes out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
The mouth heals very quickly, but
Yeah. Lucky they're 8 months.
Yeah.
When they're older, you know, and they can remind you of it. Hey, remember that time?
Yeah.
Remember that time?
That would be like, when are you emotionally scarring your children accidentally?
Every single day.
Yeah, we can't take those calls.
Not enough time. Too many kids.
Michelle in Middle Park, how did you accidentally injure your child?
I broke my son's leg.
Okay, how did that
How?
happen?
He was pretending to give me a piggyback.
Oh, no.
And we play a game where obviously he can't give me a piggyback. He was only 5 at the time. But we kind of frog hop on the way down to bed. And I think he's gone to stand up at the same time that I've gone to do another hop.
Ow.
And his leg was straight when I landed.
No.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. And you know what? When you go to the hospital, you have to tell every single doctor that comes in that story.
Yep, it's very embarrassing, and what makes it worse is it's the same leg that his dad broke a couple of years earlier.
No.
Oh, how did Dad break it?
Slipped down the stairs when he was carrying him, and then tried to push him to safety sort of behind him, and ended up landing on his leg.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
God. And they keep all that on file too, don't they?
Mustn't have
My
healed
son,
right.
yeah, he loves telling the story.
Oh,
Loves
Yeah.
it.
he'd be dining out on that for sure.
Wow. And Rob in Clontarf, how did you accidentally injure your kid?
We were playing Cowboys and Indians, and I ended up tying him in the bedroom, and then I had to answer a phone call, and he started hopping down the hallway, and it was tile floor,
Oh, no.
and he face planted, couldn't break his fall,
Yeah.
and he ended up splitting his nose.
Oh, my God. And he had to explain that Dad tied me up in the
Hog
other
tie.
room.
Well, the worst thing was explaining to the doctor that I tied the boy up.
Yeah.
And so you'd forgotten about him. How long had he been left hog-tied for?
Oh, about 8-9 minutes.
Oh, okay.
That's not too bad.
No.
Wow. How did you explain that to the mum?
Said I tied your boy up, and he had a bit of a fall.
Oh, dearie me.
She did. The mum understood. It's the doctor who'd have more
Yeah,
questions.
the doctor would, yeah.
Did you ever
Okay.
play Cowboys and Indians again after that?
No.
No, that was
First and last time.
Yeah.
good on you, Rob.
Wow.
Stab Abby and Matt for breakfast. B105.
We were kind of talking about these things yesterday, and they're popping up. People are starting to see them in real life, and I'm talking about the Ray-Ban Meta sunglasses.
They're on all the billboards. I was just a bit surprised because that seemed very mainstream. Like, hey, everyone's getting these, as opposed to what I would think just dodgy people. Like, it seems
Peeping
a bit pervy.
Toms,
Yeah, it
yeah,
seems a bit pervy.
Well, they're backed by Chris Hemsworth, the Kardashians.
Oh, Chris Hemsworth can use them if he wants. I mean. But what do you do? So you just double click?
Nope.
No.
You say, "Hey, Meta," and then you tell it what
Oh,
you want it
that's
to
just
do.
weird.
You thought
like
you
your
would
phone.
you would thought years ago someone with earbuds in talking on their phone was weird.
So what if you? So they're just sunnies. Like, would you be with your partner and they're like, "Hey, Matt."
Yeah. Well, you actually go into it's like being on Google and on a Google homepage and a Meta homepage, and you can do all sorts of things. You can record it. You can listen to music.
So they've got little speakers in the ear parts.
yeah.
Do they? Because I always thought they just filmed. They had little cameras in them that film stuff. But do they? Like, if you get them to show you directions, like Iron Man on the inside of the thing will show you where to go.
I believe so. Yes.
Oh, now I want a pair.
I think what didn't do well for me was, remember, there's a paparazzi that started using them on the Gold Coast and was just walking on the beach. I think he jumped into
Jack Black.
and he was filming, and then Jack Black sort of realised he was. So I guess that's just given them a bad name. Would you get any?
No, I don't dig it. You can listen to music, film, make calls, and even interact with Meta AI, basically like wearing Google Home on your face. No, I wouldn't, and that's the main argument is people are going, I've seen them out at nightclubs, and people could be recording everyone dancing.
Are they actually sunnies though?
Yeah,
Because that's just weird seeing someone with sunnies in a nightclub.
That's true, but
it's like
that
when
doesn't
you do
stop
it and we're
people.
like, Stab, come on, mate.
You know you have to tell me because they're prescription.
Yeah, he forgot to take his other glasses, so
That's what he
Yeah,
says.
yeah, I know. It's 10 p.m.
The
We're like,
gold
all right,
chain and
cool
high
guy.
tops tell me something else.
They hit the streets in Sydney, and people are all saying the same kind of thing. They're creepy as hell.
I think they're cool. They definitely have their place, but they freak me out just a little bit.
I think it's creepy. Like, you could have been filming me this whole time and I just wouldn't have known, so I think that's kind of scary.
Something about having glasses on and not always knowing that someone's filming is quite freaky.
Do you think it's a different vibe if like a woman is wearing them than if a man is wearing them?
Oh, that's so loaded, yes.
It's almost like they might have to just get rid of the camera. Because everything else, everyone would be fine with. Like, I can Google my shopping list while I'm in the shops and all that kind of jazz. But the filming is a bit of an issue.
Is there a light that indicates they're filming?
Filming now.
No, but you know how
Silent
you can
filming
see,
activated.
No, but you know you can see the little red light. Like, is there
I
no
don't think
indication of it?
I don't think so.
Because I would hate to be talking to you and not know because it's not my good angle.
Yeah, right, of course, yeah.
And I haven't put makeup on.
Mm.
But
And what are you using it for?
I get what you're saying, and I think they are a bit weird. But where do we draw the line? Everything's filmed all the time. Every house has got security cameras, dash cams.
You wouldn't realise how much is being filmed when you walk around the streets.
Yeah.
Remember, we found out when walking around the river.
100%.
Yeah, someone actually said, "Oh, hey, Stav and Abby." We're like,
Like
"Hi."
God.
Yeah, we're like, do we have to talk back into a speaker?
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
So I think it'll be normal. Like it would have been, everyone would have been freaking out when there was cameras in our phones.
So is that going to be the
You know?
latest thing where it's like anyone can come forward with dash cam footage? Now it's going to be, can anyone please come forward with meta glasses and this argument that happened?
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess you're right, though, too. You were always scared with new stuff. I remember when we got television and when horses replaced cars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Scary times, man.
Esther's grandfather used to tell Esther's mum that she listened to too much radio.
Yeah.
You know
It'll
what I
rot
mean?
your brain.
Like, yeah.
Terrible advice.
Yeah, awful advice. Come back.
Like anything, it's going to get misused.
Yeah.
you know.
Of course it is going to be, you know.
Because it's for humans.
But then it eventually, I guess, it will get used to help people as well. Like Abby was saying, an incident will happen or something. Or,
So they are just sunglasses or they're normal glasses as well?
Like prescriptions? No, I think
No, but like, are they just sunglasses or you can just normal glasses? Like, do they change?
No, they
for
transition.
yeah.
Apparently they don't have the technology to do that.
we're one step away from it being our eyeballs,
We're
though.
one step away from being the guys on the cruise ship in Wall-E.
Oh, they looked happy, though.
They did, yeah.
Stav, Abby, and Matt for breakfast. B105.
Dating or relationship terms. There's a lot of them and some stick and some of them don't. And I think sometimes some of them are really useful so you can explain that to your friend.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, come on, don't call him. He's ghosted you.
Yeah.
Leave it alone.
Don't be a
Gives it a
stage
name.
5 clinger.
Yeah, there's all those different things, I guess, that you can sort of explain it. But this one, I was like, oh my gosh, I've never heard the term, but I've had so many of my friends who have experienced it. And ouch, it would really hurt. And that is called fertility vampires. It's a new, well, maybe it's a new term, but not a new thing that people have done, because the sad reality is, and it really does suck, that women have a certain, I guess, age where ideally they should have kids, and a lot of specialists say in your 20s, but you're just so not prepared in your 20s. There's a lot of things that are different these days. You don't have the money for it.
You're not married. You used to be married.
Some people want to be married. Some people just want to be able to, go, I want to have a career, and can we have it both ways? It's all those, I guess, internal debates, or haven't met the right one.
Yep.
And I wish... it's hard to give the advice because it's easier said than done, but I really wish that I had frozen eggs earlier.
Right.
Because I went to a specialist to ask to do it, and she was like, oh, no, it's better to do embryos, and you don't want to do that because then it becomes divorce issues. And she really put me against it.
Right.
Ends up that she was going through a divorce herself, which was not good advice I should have given.
How old were you when you first fell pregnant? You had your first baby?
30. So it was really, really easy first time around, and then really difficult after that.
From
I
there
blame
on.
the early morning.
Yeah. Well, and even that, I guess, is hard, isn't it? Because 30's so young. You know what I mean? And they go, when you talk about that as pregnancy, they consider it at the older
And then you
end.
start doing tests, and then it's like low reserve, and then they test your husband, and they're like, he's got very good results. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that's the reality of it. It's different. So this is what it is. It's fertility vampires, and they're talking about men that date women during the best childbearing ages. Sorry to say it like that, but when they're most fertile, and then break up with them after.
Yeah.
And then they were like, wait a minute, he didn't commit during that time. And it's hard because a lot of my friends, I guess, were always hanging on and didn't really realise.
Is that specifically men who say, no, I don't want to have children right now?
It could be either way.
Because
so my friend, we were like, did you ever actually say it? And she's like, because I never wanted to be the person like, we're going to get married or this is it. And she goes, and I was happy, but strangely enough, I didn't actually say, this is my deadline, because I was so scared that he would say, okay, well, I don't want it. So she never actually put the hard question of saying, I want a kid by this age.
Well, sounds like you gotta have that
conversation.
you should, you know.
I know
But
you should.
the cruelest twist of fate there is too, as a woman approaches that age where she can't have babies anymore, biologically kicks in and she starts to want to have a baby.
Well, they say fertility really goes down, over 40. Yeah, and she separated when she was 39.
Because
And then you see Hugh Hefner and people like that who are just...
I don't know if he's gone on to have any other kids, but that would be a kicker, wouldn't it?
I reckon that would be really hurtful, especially...
Well, we all blocked him, so we don't know.
You can unblock him occasionally just to check in. You know, like I think it's unfair sometimes if a guy goes, always if a guy goes, I don't want kids, and then, she accepts that, but then they break up and then you see 12 months later, he's having a baby with someone else and she no longer can.
I don't think they do it deliberately.
No.
I have to say that. It's not like it's a deliberate thing to be malicious about it. I honestly feel like they're the Peter Pan syndrome where they've got plenty of time, why settle down, not really interested, and then...
Is it? Would you judge a woman then? Not judge, but is it wrong then for if a woman is in love with a guy, right? Loves him as a person, he doesn't want kids.
You have to make that
and
call.
And then do you go, well, I really want to be with you and I would want this to work, but I have to go even though I love you.
I think that's happened many times before.
Could have happened to us because we weren't going to have kids and then Kat wanted to have children. We had to have
you guys were dead set against it, weren't you, the whole time? People used to call up and go, you'll change your mind, and you used to be like, please don't. There's no way we are.
Yeah.
Did you ever, because you were the same, you didn't want them, did you consider saying no?
No, not really, because she actually wanted them less than I did.
So did you
She was like, I don't want kids. I was like, cool.
Did you ever want them, though, before she said that?
No.
Right.
No. And then, we were getting older and she was definitely the biological clock tucked.
Yeah.
And the other thing was a lot of our friends, like Dan and Kat, had just had a baby. So you're like, well, we're going over where our drinking house used to be anyway with the baby. So we may as well have one when we're there as well. So, and that's worked out really well. They're best friends.
Yeah. You are right, though. It's having that conversation.
You got to have
I know
the
it
chat.
sounds silly, but sometimes you're just so scared of doing it because you do love someone so much. And you think they're going to change their mind.
Yeah.
As example over here.
Dangerous game to play.
It really is.
13, 10, 60. What was it called again?
A fertility vampire.
A fertility vampire.
Have you dated a fertility vampire?
Yeah.
Maybe let us know how it went. Did you have that conversation? They're like, no way. Or had the conversation, you're like, all right, well, let's make it work together.
Yeah. 13, 10, 60. If you've been with one, or maybe you brought that vampire back to life. I don't know. Was that how you would say it? Convince him to have a kid with you? I'm glad you explained it, because if you just said fertility vampire to me, I'd have all sorts of...
You did.
It was very opposite than what you were thinking.
Yeah. 13, 10, 60. Is this something you've been through? We want to talk to you next, B105.
Stab Abby and Matt for breakfast. B105.
We always try to be even in life, but I tell you what, it's still not fair between the genders. No matter what we say, no matter how much we go with wokeness.
These blokes are struggling out here.
Stop. Use a hashtag. I reckon that will go viral. You should really start that up online.
It will go viral for all the wrong reasons.
So talking about fertility and the fact that men can often have kids later in life.
Until death.
And now there is a term for that called fertility vampires, when someone dates someone during their fertility years and then go, oh, okay, cool. I never told you I didn't want kids. And then they break up.
Yeah.
Not funny. Stuart.
Natalie's there. Hey, Nat.
Hey, how are ya?
Hey, what do you think about this term? I guess it's sort of hit home for you?
Yeah, it has. So I got with my ex-partner when I was 19.
Yeah.
And, I always wanted to be a mum. And he always said no from the beginning. So I just kind of left it because I didn't want to end things with him.
Yeah.
His reasoning was that he had 3 children to 3 different mothers already, which, I get. But I stayed with him for 10 years. And in that time, I was diagnosed with endometriosis and got told that, there was a high risk a high chance that I wouldn't actually be able to have my own baby. So in that time, I also took on the caring role of my 4 nieces and nephews. And I thought, I can live with this. I don't need to be a mum because I've got kids,
Yeah.
But as time went on, I just really thought, no, I really want my own baby. And I told him, I really want my own baby. And there was other reasons why the relationship ended. It was very toxic. He was very controlling and everything. But ultimately, it was, I wanted my own baby. So I left him when I was 29. There was a 13-year age gap as well. So I knew that even if we were going to, it just wouldn't work out, really. So then, about 6 months later, I actually met my current fiancé. And I told him from the very beginning, I want kids. And he was very much like, I don't want kids. But we sort of kept seeing each other to see where it would go. And then he decided that, if I was to have a child, it would be with you. So we talked about it more, and we decided that we were going to try. So after a year of being together, we started trying for a baby. And my doctor said, because of endometriosis, there's a high risk you won't get pregnant. So after 3 months of being unsuccessful, we'll do testing. But on the second month of trying, we fell pregnant.
I'm glad that's...
My baby's going to be 1 in July.
Oh, I can hear how emotional you are about it. I was like, please be a happy
I know, right?
But that's the whole thing, because I feel really upset for people that have gone through it, and it's hard to say. You're like, why didn't you have the conversation? But you desperately love them and say, well, wait a minute, I'm breaking up with someone that I love and see my future with because of that. But I guess in hindsight, would you say to women that are going through it, have the hard conversation and really sit down and make that decision there and then?
Absolutely. Yeah. Definitely.
So just front it. Good on you, Nat.
All right, we've got Anonymous in Ipswich. Anonymous, what's your story?
I have a 7-year age gap between my children. I had my son when I was quite young and met my current partner. He wasn't interested in children. We had the hard conversation. I ended up falling pregnant 5 years into our relationship. He was not too impressed.
Okay. Sounds like it was his fault too.
He was there.
So that wasn't great for a while, but she's here and she's now 4 years old nearly, and they're best friends.
That's great.
Right. So it can work out for people.
Yeah.
Even
Communication sounds like the key here.
It's like when I wanted a third kid, and I was like, but I don't know if Scotty's on board. And Mum was like,
involved.
Then Mum's like, oh, well, he doesn't have to be. And I was like, oh my God, did you trick Dad into having his third because I'm the third?
And then you know what he said? I told you. Hey, Dinah.
Yeah, hey.
Hi, what's your story about the fertility vampire?
Oh, yeah, the soon-to-be ex-husband. Oh, good riddance. No, well, I got told, because I'm type 1 diabetic, right? So I've had a lot of problems with the house on and off, so it's been a while. But I got pregnant with my daughter originally with him. I got told I could never have children because I've had cervical cancer and all that. I had that at 19 and all that fun stuff. So my baby was like the best surprise. But and so he was cool at the time. He's like, yeah, cool, had this baby. So we had her, and then I said, look, I want another one. So I believe in siblings. It's like an insurance plan. It sounds cold, but I just wanted an insurance. I want another kid just in case. Yep. And he kept saying, yeah, we can, but not till we get married. So, I pushed it. We got married. And then I said, right, we're married. Can we have another one? He's like, oh, no, we can't. We need to have a house. So I'm like, yeah, all right. So saved my ass. I actually won second division in Lotto. That gave us a deposit.
Okay, wow.
So I went, sweet. Yeah, that
your
was
life. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I wanted the second baby. So, he said, we bought the house. And then I said, oh, right, ready now? And he's like, no, not ready. Oh, okay, because our daughter was getting older then, and she's like, when are we going to have a brother? Or, when am I having a brother or sister? She was asking too. And then he starts saying, oh, I don't think she's mine. She's a splitting image of him. So he was saying I cheated on him.
Right. So this is where the ex-husband's coming into it. Yeah, I get.
Oh yeah. He was actually he's nasty. He's a narcissist. I've been learning all this, but So, I dedicated my life to trying to have a baby. I actually gave up, how old was I then? I'm trying to say, it was probably about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I was getting too old. And I was like, I'm running out of time.
But I think that's the biggest thing. If you're hearing that, you realise how many excuses they can give. And not everyone is a narcissist who says it, but maybe it's the case. But.
You'd be the only person that was disappointed about winning the lotto.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it.
I guess for blokes, though, don't be afraid to be honest about it. You know what I mean? Like
Great point, because they never want to upset people. And it's like you're actually upsetting them by not being honest and say, hey, kids are not in my future.
Because it's okay to not want them for men and women.
Yeah.
But I guess just say, I just want you to know this is... If you think it's going to change, I want you to have what you want, and you're not going to get that from me. It's better that than sort of.
If you love someone so much, set them free.
Set them free.
Stab Abby and Matt for breakfast. B105.
Hey, it's producer Ash here, and we're taking a look back at the week that was with Stav, Abby and Matt.
So we're giving the machines the ability to think.
Oh, the amount of information I put in my chat GPT.
And it still can't work you out.
Which personality are you today, Abby? You know.
You tell me.
Game 1 of State of Origin was this week, and you want to represent in wearing your colours. Just not the ones for the wrong team.
Why are you wearing a Blues top? You forgot. I noticed that as soon as I walked in. I was like, what are you doing?
I have to go.
Just do it shirtless.
Okay.
You've got a cardigan behind you.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll fix that. I can't do that.
It was at this point Stav took off his shirt.
You have to do the whole show like that and not explain it. Would you like me to turn the aircon so it's a bit warmer?
What do you mean?
Your nipples are out.
And my tiny nipples went to France.
Moving on.
State of Origin tonight, and we've got a poll on Instagram. They're hitting the field, but who's hitting your heart out of the maroon?
I would say we should stop treating them like meat.
We're not. We just said who's hitting your heart. It was about a personality thing, and you've just got to make it like that.
Yeah, right. If that's true, why is Paddy Carrigan winning?
Because he's got a beautiful heart.
Okay.
I don't believe you.
As if those boys care that women are telling them that they're hot.
Would you feel upset if people did that to you?
I constantly feel upset, like every day.
Do people do it to you?
All the time.
Really?
Yeah, you're doing it now with your eyes.
No, I think that is disgust.
We're all super pumped for Friday's Live.
We actually had Conrad Sewell in earlier on, and Maddie thought it would be a good idea to get him to do a cover.
Now, you are going to sing Lil Jon's Get Low for us.
Yes, you can help me out on the window to the wall, thanks. There's a lot of swearing in this song, so I don't know if we're just going to have to bleep that out.
Yeah, we can bleep.
All right.
You do you, boo.
Oh, ski, ski, mother truckers. Oh, ski, ski, goddamn. Oh, ski, ski, mother trucker. Oh, ski, ski, goddamn. Wow, it's the country version. Mother truckers.
Here at Stab, Abby and Matt, we love a mass debate.
The Real Housewives have started a bit of a debate about how to put on a bra on one of their podcasts. And it's gone viral because I didn't realise there was a couple of different options. Some people put it on at the front and latch it on, move it around to the back, and then slip their arms under the arm holders. And I thought the only other option was you go straight into it with the arms and then you latch it at the back.
At the back.
I just didn't think there was another option. So sorry, 13 10 60. How do you put it on a bra?
I do it up at the back.
Mel, front or back for the rack?
Always back. I can't put chin to chest. I do it at my back, at the back, Abby. I'm saying that's because we're bigger busted girls because we can't spin it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's harder for you to spin past those puppies.
Abby's been fantasising about what life would be like if she was married to a woman to lighten the mental load.
Let's just say you guys can do it. It doesn't have to be just girls. So you guys end up getting divorced.
So you got two useless people living together.
Just a big pile of washing on the bed not getting folded.
Are you admitting it?
Yes. I was having this conversation, we were joking, I had lunch with my in-laws yesterday and we were joking about, if you get divorced or what would happen. I said, all men get is a milk crate, a microwave and a TV.
Hey, Stav, was it my turn for the kids this weekend or was that last weekend? I can't remember.
Do you think, though, people would always be saying, they've become lovers?
Yeah.
People would talk about you behind your back.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But what's the difference with just having a flatmate?
I mean, they're going to talk behind your back no matter what.
It's true. So you may as well hook up.
Yeah.
No.
Everyone thinks you're doing it anyway.
No.
May as well.
No, you
And
just
that
get
is
to
why
co-parent.
I will not move in with Stav because every night I'll be like, no, Stav.
Hey, that's hurtful.
Come on, mate.
Every night.
Oh, my God.
I'd catch you off guard eventually.
Eventually, yeah, you give me a week, man.
I think you guys would be happy together. You could go and play golf.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I do all the cooking. Oh, you could smoke my meat sometime.
Until next time, that's a wrap with Stav, Abby and Matt. Stav, Abby and Matt.
Alpha Bucks on Monday, guys. It will be the 2nd of June.
Okay.
Wow.
Bloody hell. We'll
Where
get
is
text
the year
time.
going?
Alpha Bucks answers for 50 grand, 6, 7 and 8.
6 a.m. it's T. Your answers are Thunder, Trombone and Tractor. 7 a.m. it's Nando's, 9 and Natalie Portman with N. And 8 a.m. it's B. Some of your answers are Bentley, Bear and Bamboo.
Right up. See you Monday. Bye.
Bye.
Stav, Abby and Matt for breakfast. B105.